Hi guys, so we're looking at the key drivers in the key lines of a surfactant company's P&L. This is part 3. And here in this generic P&L, we're looking today at plant costs. That's all the spend in the manufacturing plant, excluding raw materials, which of course we covered last week. Okay, so let's take a look at those costs. They're generally pretty small compared to raw materials, but of course they're key to product cost and profitability. There's labor, utilities, maintenance, and of course depreciation. That one and some of the others are largely fixed, the sorts of costs you need to have to keep the lights on in the plant. In order to spread those fixed costs across as many units of production as possible, your differentiator in terms of product cost versus a competitor who's, say, processing the same raw materials and using similar technology is going to be plant utilization. If you can keep plant utilization up over 90%, you're probably going to be doing okay. You're probably going to be doing pretty good, actually. If your utilization is something below, say, 70%, life is not going to be very happy. And so boosting that utilization is really essential to a profitable operation and to keeping your unit costs down. Okay, easier said than done maybe. How do you keep plant utilization up over 90%? Here's a bunch of ways. Let's take a look at them. First of all, sell more, right? Obviously, but don't give away the product. Minimize changeovers, what enables you to do that, right? Because every time you're changing over, you're not producing. Right? And you know, during that startup and shutdown phase, maybe you are processing raw materials, but the stuff that's coming out at the end of the plant is not saleable product. So in order to minimize changeovers, you really have to reduce product line complexity, improve production quality, right? I always say to my clients, your plant is a one-way street. Once the raw material comes in, is processed, you make the finished product, you send it out the door, you don't want to see it come back. It's a one-way street. So less rework, fewer returns, these all enable you to drive up your overall plant utilization. Keep an eye on the incoming raw material quality control. Again, that ties into production quality and minimizing rework. Minimize inventory, keep an eye on shelf life. All these basic production management 101 types of principles enable you to boost utilization up over that 90% level, thereby differentiating yourself in terms of unit production, cost, and ultimately profitability. In the next video, we're going to look at the next line in the P&L statement, which is SG&A, selling, general, and administrative costs. In the meantime, let me know if I've missed anything or anything you'd like a little more in-depth explanation of. And as always, thank you again very much for listening.